Pro-Khalistan protest was held outside the Indian High Commission in London on Saturday amid tight security. The protest rally had relatively low-key turnout as only 30 to 40 participants participated in the demonstration, and the event passed off without any incident. Meanwhile, members of the Indian community staged a counter-rally outside the consulate, waving the Indian tricolour to send out a message. This comes a day after a temple in the Greater Toronto area was defaced with a poster targeting Indian diplomats. The Pro-Khalistan protest comes at a time when there is a surge in the attacks by pro-Khalistani groups in the UK and across countries including Australia, Canada and the US. The protesters gathered outside the Indian High Commission from around 12:30 pm to 2:30 pm local time. Meanwhile, the security in the area was beefed up with the presence of UK police. The rally used controversial posters inciting violence with images of the Indian High Commissioner Vikram Doraiswamy and Dr. Shashank Vikram, Consul General of India in Birmingham. The protest was part of a series of protests held in cities across the world, including Melbourne, San Francisco and Toronto, to condemn the June 18 killing of Khalistani activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in British Columbia. Nijjar was wanted on terrorism charges in India. Meanwhile, India on Friday asked the British government to immediately deport or prosecute the Khalistani elements in their country, even as Indian diplomats have become individual targets. That has become a huge cause of concern for New Delhi. The matter was discussed at length during a meeting between National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and his British counterpart Tim Barrow in New Delhi. Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Arindam Bagchi had earlier raised the issue of violence against the diplomatic premises and threats to Indian diplomats with counterparts in London. This violence against the diplomats and inside the diplomatic premises abroad is unacceptable, and we condemn them in the strongest term, MEA spokesperson Arindam Bagchi said. In Canada, a few hundred people demonstrated outside the Indian Consulate in Toronto on Saturday to protest against the alleged murder of a pro-Khalistani leader last month in the Vancouver area. The protesters accused the Indian government of being responsible for the murder of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a declared terrorist in India wanted in many cases. The pro-Khalistani elements had proposed a pro-Khalistan rally outside the Indian High Commission in Ottawa on July 8th. The demonstrators carried Khalistani flags and raised Khalistan slogans. Setting off from the Toronto suburbs, they arrived in front of the Indian Consulate, where they were greeted by around 50 members in support of the Indian government.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.